Hi folks, CodeTutor here and my name is Anil Deshpande. Welcome to another video on Android CICD series, and we will continue our discussion with Android build variants. This is the last video which is part of the Android build variants, and here we basically talk about how to control the number of builds that the application actually ends up building. By default, it is a multiplication factor. What do I mean by that? If you have seen here, you can see that the number of builds that we are getting here, it's around 12. And why is it 12? If you had seen the configurations that we had done here, we have build types, debug and release, and then we have product flavors, which is 6. So 6 into 2, 12. And that is the number that you are seeing here. But in reality, you might not actually need all these variants. You might be interested only in some of these. If you have all these 12 variants, it becomes very difficult to manage which one you need and which one you don't. And depending upon your team's requirement, you might only need QA debug, staging debug, and then everything else can be just released. So then there is really no point in having 12 builds in your artifactory store. So how do we manage that? Well, the solution is you can write your own custom logic using AGP, that is Android Gradle plugin. What is that? If you come here, you might be already seeing certain default plugins. So these are the ones that are available by default in Android. So instead of that, you can write your own custom plugin on what build variants that you want. And in this case, I will show you how I will write a custom script in the build.kts file so that I can control the number of builds that I can generate. First thing is you have to import certain components. In this case, I will be importing com.android.build API variant Android component extension. And once you have this, using this, you can write your own custom script to avoid the variant explosion. And that is typically written at the end of it. Extensions.configure. And if you have only enabled the AGP, then only you can write this kind of logic. Otherwise, you won't be able to do this. So ensure that you have enabled the AGP in your application. So this is how it looks like before variants. Variant builder, this is what builds the variants. Build variant builder.product flavors to map. It will return me all the flavors, and I want to catch hold of based on the dimension environment and based on the dimension tier. So I have two dimensions, environment and tier. And then build type, variant builder dot build type. If you are wondering what kind of programming language I am using here, it's Kotlin. It is Kotlin DSL. DSL stands for domain specific language. You can think of it like ability which allows developers to create a very specialized mini language for specific tasks or domains. And in this case, the domain is configuring our build. Kotlin has this capability. So once we have all the information, we will define the combinations that we need so that only these are built and others are disabled. So let me create a allowed variants set. Well, allowed variants, think of it like I am defining a variable here of set of QA free debug. So here basically I am trying to get QA only debug builds. I want QA free debug and I want QA paid debug, and then I want staging both debug and release. That means I will need staging free debug, staging paid debug, and staging free release, staging paid release. And then I would also need production. So for each environment, what kind of builds I need, that is what I am defining here. So production builds, that I need only release. I don't need any staging, any debug here. So it would be prod free release and prod paid release. And this is good. This is what we want. And then finally, we have to disable variants if not allowed in the allowed variants list. And so how do we do that? Val current variant is equal to triple environment comma tier comma build type. So this is your complete current set, all the 12, but out of these 12 I want only these ones. So I will write if current variant is not in allowed variants, then variant builder dot enable is equal to false. So out of these 12 variants, if they are not in the allowed variants, then I am telling the variant builder to disable it. Dot enable equal to false. And let me sync now, and let me come to the build variants. And if you open here, yeah, you can see that now it is not 12, it is lesser, and only these number of builds will get generated. Let me just even reduce it further. You don't need staging release and staging paid release. So staging free debug and staging paid debug is also good enough. So you want only these types. And now let me sync now. And now if you see here, it will be even lesser. And with this, we are basically ending the Android build variants series. And we are just getting warmed up in the Android CICD series. In the next video, we will explore further beyond this in the Android CICD series. Stay tuned. That brings us to the end of this particular video. Don't forget to like, comment, share the video and subscribe to the channel. Take care. Bye.